Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, as president of the Rotary Club of Elyria, it is both my privilege and honor to welcome you here today to pay tribute to the life and legacy of Elyria Rotarian Edgar F. Daddy Allen. Before we continue, I would like to recognize the contributions of some of the people who made this day happen. City of Elyria Manager Rob Givens, Elyria Rotarian and Safety Service Director Mary Sawerko, Elyria Rotarian Mark Wagner and the Wagner Sign Company, Elyria Rotary historians Dave Holland and Mark King. It is on this date in 1937 that the world lost a man who not only made a difference in helping children in this community, but also had a global impact. Additionally, it was through his tireless efforts and dedicated service that Elyria Hospital and Easter Seals were founded. It is at this time, and on behalf of the City of Elyria, I would like to call forward the Honorable Mayor Holly Brindle.
Thank you so very much. What a humbling occasion. You know, sometimes we wonder, can one person really make a difference? And I think this is an example of how one person, of course with others, but his vision really did make a difference. It amazes me that when we think back at that day, that tragic day in Elyria, Ohio, where we had probably one of the worst accidents ever, Edgar Daddy Allen took that not only personal tragedy, but community tragedy, and transformed it into not just one act, but a literal movement. Today, the Easter Seal Society serves 1.3 million individuals in the nation, Australia and Puerto Rico, and that's on an annual basis. So it's quite remarkable that that we are here today in memorial of this, and how fitting it is to have it in a place where he rests. But we really, on behalf of the City of Elyria, the city appreciates your efforts so very much, and I know that this was a personal mission of Mr. Holland, and also Mark King and Mr. Bird, and who am I forgetting? Others, but I really appreciate you doing this. The city appreciates you doing this. It's easy to get involved in our daily lives and forget how important these things are, but this is a global legacy that lives right here in our community, and I think it will inspire many for years to come, so thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also please like to welcome the President of University Hospital of Elyria, Charlotte Bray.
What a beautiful day for what a great event that we're celebrating here today. You know, Daddy Allen is near and dear to my heart. He's near and dear to everybody's heart at the Elyria Medical Center. And out of the tragedy in 1907, you know, we were benefactors of his passion and his vision. And in October 30th in 1908, a 36-bed hospital was built on the site that is University Hospital's Elyria Medical Center. 108 years this October. And had he thought for a moment, perhaps he did, the millions of lives that his vision and his commitment out of that tragedy that he's touched. You know, hundreds of thousands of patients every year go through University Hospital's Elyria Medical Center. Thousands of employees. You know, miracles have occurred in that building every day. And it's just an honor to be associated with such a great man. And I was mentioning to some of our guests that, you know, Daddy Allen has a respected place in the brick and mortar of the building. You know, the Founders Conference Center, the Allen Building. You know, we've got a beautiful portrait of him highlighting his story in the legacy hallway. And next to that great man is the great woman, his life. So I welcome anybody to come over and take a tour. We try to make it front and foremost for everybody that we hire, for every new acquaintance that we meet in the community, so that they really understand the legacy and the power behind the vision of Daddy Allen. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Char. I would like to also please welcome Lorraine County Executive Director William Bird and Ohio Historical Connection Becky Trivison.
Thank you, Gary. I just want to say a couple of things here. These markers can be a partnership, and this one was. The role of the Rotary was to provide the finances and the backing, which is so critical, and also the impetus for even starting this particular marker. The role of the city, they own the land, they approve it. Rob and his crew did a great job installing the signpost properly and getting the marker ready. And the Historical Society basically writes the application and sends it to Columbus. And there's a little bit of back and forth sometimes on wording, and that's our role. I'm really pleased that Dave Holland accepted this cause and pushed it so persistently. You know, we do have the marker at the hospital connected to Edgar Allen's work there. We also have the marker at the corner of 5th and Middle on high school property, which is marking the site of the interurban crash, which precipitated everything that Edgar Allen got involved in. And when Dave first talked to me about this marker, my initial thought was, well, there's a lot of important people buried in Ridgelawn. Why are we singling out Edgar Allen? And Dave said to me, Edgar Allen was the closest thing to a true American hero that Elyria ever had. And that really resonated with me, and I got it, you know, from that point on. You know, the story's been told over and over, but I would like to point out that in Washington, D.C., they have a points of light pathway to recognize people nationally who went the extra mile, and Edgar Allen is represented there, and that's just an incredibly high honor. Also, in kind of following up to what Mayor Brenda said, not only did Edgar Allen have this tremendous tragedy and he made something wonderful happen, but he really had just barely moved to Elyria before this happened. And if you think about that, you know, your son graduating from high school and literally getting killed on the same day of his graduation. What an awful thing. And as a parent, I don't know how I could accept that and go on to do what he did. But that's why we're honoring Edgar Allen in this way. I'm so thankful that Dave was thankful that the Elyria Rotary Club has sponsored these markers. They're just really important pieces of history. And I'm going to turn this over to Becky to tell you briefly about the marker program. Thank you so much.
I think I'm the last speaker before the big reveal, so I promise to keep this brief. My name is Becky Trivison, and on behalf of the Ohio History Connection, thank you for inviting me to participate in this marker dedication today. I'm here today, and I would venture to say that you all are here today because you believe that history is very important. And the marker that we're celebrating today was made possible through a partnership between the Elyria Rotary Club, the City of Elyria, and the Lorain County Historical Society, as well as the Ohio History Connection. And the Markers program at the Ohio History Connection began in 1957, and it's a program that we're very proud of. It enables us to help Ohioans preserve and share their history in a very visible way that's going to last for many years. And there are now more than 1,500 historical markers either up around the state or currently in production that reflect Ohio's unique history. And your marker honoring Edgar F. Daddy Allen joins the other state markers that tell the unique story of Ohio, and you're to be commended for taking the initiative to identify such an important historical aspect of your community. And to mark this special event, I'm proud to present commendations from the Ohio History Connection's Executive Director, Bert Logan, and the Board of Trustees to the Elyria Rotary Club, the City of Elyria, and the Lorain County Historical Society. And I will read the text for you. The Ohio History Connection commends the Elyria Rotary Club, the City of Elyria, and the Lorain County Historical Society for furthering the knowledge of our state's heritage by placing an Ohio historical marker on September 20th, 2016 that celebrates the legacy of Edgar F. Daddy Allen, the founder of Easter Seals, and his dedication to providing services to children and adults with disabilities and special needs, as signed by Bert Logan, the Executive Director, and Robert W. Lucas, the President of the Board of Trustees. And I have one each for the Rotary Club, the City of Elyria, and the Lorain County Historical Society. So if Mayor Brenda, Bill Bird, and Gary McIntyre could come up, I have one for each of you to get your commendation. Congratulations to all of you. Please enjoy your marker and your place in history. Thank you.
Okay, now is the time we've all waited for. Rob, is it possible to turn the speaker around so it faces the marker? Because I'm going to ask everyone to move over to the marker. I'll call the parties up there. Ladies and gentlemen, our tribute to Edgar F. Daddy Allen. If you want to stop up there later and read what it says, you can. But I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. This commemorates Elyria businessman Edgar Daddy Allen, 1862 to 1937. Founder of Easter Seal, is buried in a cemetery with his wife Blanche and son Homer. In 1907, Allen lost his son because of an interurban crash. The lack of adequate medical services prompted Allen to begin a fundraising campaign to build the city's first hospital, Elyria Memorial Hospital, which opened in 1908. In 1915, he spearheaded the founding of Gates Hospital, the first facility in the U.S. dedicated to the care of children with physical disabilities. Aided by the strong support from a network of Rotary clubs, Allen founded the Ohio Society for Crippled Children in 1919, and thereafter National Society for Crippled Children, which later became known as Easter Seals. Now named Easter Seals, it remains dedicated to providing services to children and adults with disabilities and special needs. Thank you. And that concludes our program today. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to the press for coming and everyone that helped.